Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A special evening, like always, but today we have a special guest from America. Together with us in Morris News studio by Rua Media, we have Dr. Christina Rahm and Mr. Clayton Thomas. Welcome in our studio. Welcome in Romania. Welcome in Târgu Mureș.
Beautiful.
Founder and co-founder of Root Company. Just please explain us, for the Romanian people and for the people from Târgu Mureș, what is mean Root, and what was the route to conquest the world?
Yeah. So I'll start, I guess. Root is a company that's a supplement company, but it also has skincare and animal products and a fashion line. And we're in 76 countries and now coming into Romania. The whole premise is getting to the root of the cause of issues and naturally trying to solve world problems using a circular economy. So we also have a fintech system in these 76 countries, so we can give in, exchange money in many different ways. But we're able to provide solutions such as detoxification and supplements as alternatives to traditional medicine, or to help traditional medicine with side effects, like people that are going through chemotherapy or radiation or have had issues with the shots or different things. Some people have side effects. So we don't discriminate one way or another, but we're here to help people all over the world in whatever their health issues are.
The very important point here, what I heard today, is you are a cancer survivor.
I am.
Was this important step in your life a positive way to involve more and more in this kind of business?
Yeah. I don't believe in being a victim. I believe in courage to keep going in life. I had lost a child and then had a brain tumor and a spinal tumor. And then my third son, who you saw on the video today on FaceTime, had cancer when he was 2. And so it led me from a pharmaceutical and biotech industry as a scientist and working with governments to really trying to find also alternative ways, because I've worked in 88 countries. And so I started studying the different things we could all do to really have the best bodies we could. And through that process, I developed patents that reverse aging and regenerate the hair, skin, and nails and the inside of your body. But I think if I wouldn't have had cancer, I would never have done all those things. I was into art and music and sports, and I really was having fun in life. And when all of this happened, I realized, okay, I have to spend the rest of my life trying to do different things to make the world a better place if I'm here, because why else am I here? And so that really was a positive thing in my life, even though it seemed negative at the time.
Let's make a brindisi for that.
Thank you.
With this unbelievable wine, Tenuta Romana. Thank you for our friends from Tenuta Romana. Wish you all the best. So, Clayton's good. Is your first time in Romania?
My first time in Romania, and it's beautiful. And learning about the history.
I love to hear that.
The history is really unique. You know, being in buildings that were built in 600, and the history that's here. But the growth, as we've talked about over the last 30 years, of seeing the break and now becoming more free economically, and the growth and the opportunities that are here, and the beauty of the people and the work ethic and the sense of community, which is what's really important. And that's really our entire business philosophy of building around community and knowing that we are all connected. Like, we come from the United States. It's our first time here.
Not my first
but
time.
not your first time here. But that we each of us are 6 degrees from about 6.5 billion people. All right, so we're already all connected. So now as we get to come together and we get to meet new people, the opportunity to be of service and create additional connections, that we bring all of these different borders together as Dr. Rahm has mentioned it, we are all each an imperfect piece to this perfect puzzle. And it's finding where all of these puzzle pieces fit, and we're all connected.
Please give me 3 words about Romania, and this is your short experience, but it's important for us.
Culture, history, and family. There are the 3 biggest things I've seen so far, right? And I think those are the things that we can carry with us anywhere.
Very nice. Regarding the family, how is to work with your wife? Because it's not every day I meet people to work in family. It's very hard. In the same time, it's very nice. But just explain us.
You know, I had really good modeling, actually. My mom and my dad worked together in a veterinary practice, and my mom's side of the family has actually owned a lumber yard in Seattle, Washington for over 100 years. So it's past 4 or 5 generations down. And so it's not often that you're able to work together with a spouse or work together with family. I was really fortunate because when we were introduced about 8.5 years ago, I knew who I was supposed to serve. And I think that's the important part of being a man, of knowing how and when to support your wife and who you're made to work with, but knowing that you can find a common cause and hit it from different angles, and you can create an empire, right? It's the opportunity to see opportunity and timing, and know that if you're each given gifts, the goal is how you can make those gifts stronger in your partner. And a lot of times it leads to interesting experiences when you're not working. And it's important to be able to disconnect work and family life and not bring work home.
I see a very nice words what you give us in a podcast somewhere in America. When the guy asks you what is the definition of the success, you just tell us, my wife.
Yeah.
So that was for me the first impact to say, wow. No, it's not. I don't found everywhere guys like you.
I'm fortunate because, you know, in the American term, we have not real football, but American football, and there's a term that we outkicked our coverage, right? And I'm really fortunate to have a wife who's a lot more dynamic than I am. That when we met, one of the first things she told me is that she was going to make me a lot different, and I think that's the important part in this world of one being patient, but having the opportunity to find the person that makes you better. And when you find that person, you do everything you can to make them better. And in so doing, they're going to make you better, and accepting the journey and knowing it's not about you.
What do you think about this nice word?
I don't think I ever told him I was going to make him different. What I did say, and we were friends at the time, I said what I say to anyone I get close to. And now, of course, we're married, so it's even more. But I said, I have this thing I like to do. I like to partner and work with people and be friends with people and help them be the best they can be. Because my first master's and doctorate degree were in psychology, but I have this thing I love. I love to make women feel or be as beautiful as they can be. I don't get jealous because I think each person's beautiful. And with men, I love to empower them and support them and help them. I really was raised in the South, so I still love to cook and clean and serve. So with Clayton, we were friends and we worked together, and I think he got to see my true heart and who I am when I partner with probably I've partnered with more men in business than women, because there's more men in the United States in business than women. And my goal is always to kind of share what I hear and feel in my heart, my mind about business, because I think women have a different perspective, and then empower them to be the best. And so that's what I told Clayton. It wasn't that I thought he wasn't good enough or, wonderful. I just wanted to help. There were some things I saw in business that I thought, if I can help in these areas, because he's so smart, and he worked so hard, I knew he would be so successful. And when he launched Root, he went, during COVID from one country to 76 countries. And I worked from behind the scenes.
So today you are in 76 countries.
Actually more, yeah. More now.
Hard work. You start when?
February 2nd of 2020.
When COVID hit.
20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right when the world
of the COVID.
Yeah.
Right when the world was going into lockdown, we started a new company. Smartest business decision you could ever make.
Look,
right?
this is the definition of courage.
Yeah.
And of course of vision. Why not? I have a personal question. Your products have the power to prolong my life, or just make me to look better and younger?
So my goal in the creation of Clean Slate and Reno and some of the other products I have, like Give Me Back My Youth and Immune Defense Shield, my whole goal was to go into the cells of the body and to get rid of heavy metals and pollution and toxins and take it out and clean the body and the cells and then make them healthier so your immune system works, so your mitochondria works better, so the telomeres work better, so you can live longer and look better while you're doing it. I think everyone focuses on the fact that I work in skincare and I work in supplements and pharmaceutical, and that I do love to make people look the best they can look. I won't lie about that, and I'm pretty good at it. If I get to be close to people, I help them have the look the best they can look. But at the same time, I'm helping them inside. And I say this all the time, you need to help the inside of your body and the outside if you're really going to live to be 100. And you can. You can live to be 130 and be happy and healthy and not have dementia. But you've got to take care of the inside and the outside of your body, which is why the fashion line is so important. And I love talking to your daughter because she's amazing.
Thank you.
And she really is. And you can tell she's had amazing parents because her heart and her mind is brilliant. But you have to take care of this. Your skin's your largest organ. So you look fantastic, but you've got to take care of your skin as you age even, and then on the inside. So I think I do both, to be honest. I think I'm able, and I'm not done. I'm still working on some things right now because I'm a nanobiotechnologist. So I'm working on some things that I think will help all of us live a lot longer and look better while we're doing it.
What she's done.
I want to be part of this.
Yes, and it's the important part to understand in science today is we have so many conversations about genetics, right? And what we are each individually. But when we look at aging, there's two aspects to aging, right? There's chronological age, how many years you've been here. And then there's biological age, how old your body is performing as. And we've kind of been taught that they're linear or connected, right? So if you are 70 years old, that your body is 70 years old. And if the average age is 77 or 80, you're getting towards the end of your life. That's actually not true. That if you do the right things to clean up your body, as Christina was mentioning, and you give your body the tools it needs to function better, you can disconnect chronological and biological. So you can be 70 years old, but actually function like you're 40. Yeah, so 80 can feel like 45.
And look like it.
And look and function like it. And that's the important part of having a nanobiotechnologist that's had 20 years in pharma and biotech, that's bridged using the best aspects of nature with the best that science has to offer to create that opportunity. And now we've proven scientifically that this is actually real. And that's a major piece to the puzzle of being actually able to scientifically validate and measure this difference between chronological age and biological age.
How your products are valid for both humans and animals?
Yeah, and we're approved by all the Olympic committees and all the professional athletes in the United States as well as in Europe. And we have animals. We're approved for animals and professional animals as well. So we've targeted everything and done third-party testing so that we know these products are not only amazing products to help us inside and outside, but also approved for athletes as not being enhancing, even though they are. Like we have a nootropic that increases performance, but is still considered natural. And we're able to use it. And we have some products for animals like that too, because animals can live long lives. But if they're overly vaccinated, because animals suffer from this, or if they haven't been taken care of, they can't live as long. And I have dogs like your daughter and a cat, and I love animals. And so I really wanted to bring it not just to people, but to animals as well. And I say this all the time. Environment's so important. Like your house is so beautiful because you're in the woods. You know, our environment, though, our land, air, and water is toxic from pollution and 5G. And even though we need to evolve as human beings, we still have to take care of our planet. So we actually have some products we're going to launch for the environment as well. And I think it's important to let everyone know that we care about, you know, everything we touch, because we share our DNA even with the leaves on the trees by your house. We share everything. And so we've got to take care of each other.
How long was the process in the lab to go out with the product? Was it difficult? Was it a challenge?
Yeah. I think it was a challenge for me as a scientist. A lot of things come easy to me. I'm sure you're aware of this because you've been very successful. Some things in life are easier than others. It's almost like you just were born with this map. And with science, that's how I am with creating things. With business, it hasn't been so easy. As a female business owner that's been a CEO in healthcare companies, that part wasn't so easy. So I created lots of products in the past that I never got paid. Like I would create them and then people would take my products. Then I would create more because I love doing solutions that help people.
And you love what you're doing.
I love what I'm doing. So for me, it's like painting. I'm an artist as well. And so it's like creating music or painting. It was something I did naturally. And then I would look on the television and there's thousands of products I made and made more bioavailable, but I never made any money from it. So I think meeting Clayton helped me have someone that started supporting the fact that I could do all these things and still get paid that I loved. And in the lab, it's taken me years. So if you ask me, it's kind of like what you've done for a living. I'm sure you've succeeded, obviously, but there's been times maybe you failed. I failed a lot as a scientist. So I would say this is 20 years of studying and doing work in a lab.
It's almost a life.
Almost a lifetime.
To come with the right product on the table.
Absolutely.
And we for sure must to taste it. It's available now in Europe and in Romania. How we have the chance to buy it? How we have the to? I want to promote this.
Yeah, I want you to too. Yeah.
Not for free. This is really, really important. Nothing should be done for free anymore. Okay. Right? Because you have $1 trillion companies, $1 trillion market valuations that have actually been created by our behavior.
This is American mentality, guys. Nothing is for free in this world.
But it's different.
Yeah.
There's things that we do. There's things that we do for free, right? But the creation of value should be rewarded, right? So it's not something that is charged for.
Loss value.
Yes. And it's something that we do naturally as humans, right? It is in our nature that if we find something that we like, we share it. If we have an amazing glass of wine and we like the brand, we tell our friends. Many times we're creating value for the winery because our friends would buy the wine, but we're not paid for that. We just do it openly. And when we look at how a lot of commerce has been done, through social media, through now with the introduction of Rua, you have, different apps, different channels that are creating revenue, or all of their value is actually created by the consumers. But there's no mechanism to reward them. And it was really important to me in understanding that as a company, we were going to invest in our greatest asset, which was our customers. So we created an algorithmic, fintech model, as Christina was mentioning, that allows the tracking of consumerism and the rewarding of sharing. And it puts the investment on the company to know that you're investing in quality. Because if you're not producing outcomes, if you're not providing a benefit to your community, they're not going to support you. But if you do, they will take you everywhere because we're already connected, right? And being able to have a new app that brings everybody together in really the two things that they want, right? We want to have connectivity to be able to connect with all of our friends in our community, but we also want to have the ability to connect to relationships and find relationships within and around our community. Being able to do that creates an economy of its own, that if you create the right collaborations and you provide the right quality, you create an ecosystem that funds itself. And as businesses, being willing to invest the revenue back into that community changes the landscape. And that was the goal on my side of creating Root, was creating a new approach to business that invested in the people that actually create all the value, not doing advertising to generate money and act like a vacuum to suck the money out of a system, but actually invest in the areas, in the people, wherever they are in the world. As Christina mentioned, we're in over 70 countries. That if we have people that are in Romania that are creating value for the company, we are going to put money back into those people for what they're doing.
And into their countries and into what they care about. We start investing in their businesses, their countries, but he asked where we buy it, and you have to have a link.
Yeah, so everybody...
He needs to set up a link. And then, yeah. It's kind of like Amazon Prime. Like there's different affiliate models and different things, but this is different. It's really an approach of, in the end, being able to ship and do anything together as long as you have the right partners. And so I noticed today when we were at lunch, you understood, you're an entrepreneur, you understand business. There's not a lot of those people out there, but to make it the way that life is changing, you're going to have more of those people. And I think that we'll have to create a link, and then he can share it all over, because our biggest successes are with people like you that have podcasts or interviews, and we do things together, then we bring them on, and we're able to do business together, and we're able to grow it for everyone, whether you're of a high economic class or lower. It doesn't matter. We're here to solve world problems.
If you promise me, I with more than God delivered to me, and I look younger, maybe under 100 to 200,000 people from the area. This is the first our meeting. I wish you all the best, but one important question I have more: how you mixed this unbelievable work to manage 70 countries with the kids, with the family?
Yeah. So three of our kids have worked with us. 2 are still working with us. One of them started his own company as an entrepreneur with Clayton, and then now his second company on his own. So they're pretty hard driving, working kids. Our daughter is still in high school. We take our kids with us, like they almost came here. And I try to take them on trips alone as well, but it's been a juggle. It's been hard. I have to be honest, because as a mother, and I wish you could see me with my kids, I love them very much. But they miss me, and I miss them, and I've worked, most of my life all over the world. So
It's the sacrifice.
It's the sacrifice. And I think sometimes with children, and no matter how old they are, it takes till they're older and they have their own children and they have their own careers for them to understand. Part of the sacrifice, and I know you know this, is building a future for my children and their grandchildren and their children and grandchildren, right? And mine and my great-grandchildren. It takes work. It's not, when people tell me it's luck, here's what I say. It may be a little bit of luck, but you have to work hard. And it's not something that you can not dream about at night. So I would say 99% of everything I've I've innovated or created has been dreams at night where I can't sleep. And then I go into the lab or I create. But there is a sacrifice. But I also think my kids have an advantage because of that. Because you have to stop and think, okay, I'm sacrificing and there's not as much time. But what advantages will they have in the future as our world grows? And that's what I think about as a mother. I really do. I think, okay, I need more time, but I FaceTime them. That's the great thing about these apps and about everything we're doing. I can FaceTime, I can Zoom, and I do it all the time, but it has been a sacrifice, and I don't always succeed at that.
Clayton and Christina, a wish for the Romanians, a wish for the people from Târgu Mureș. One think what you want to transmit regarding our life, our future, from your experience.
So my wish is that I will be able to work with the Romanian people and they'll be able to work with me and we can share our lives. I don't think because I live in the United States, I have to be there all the time. I'd love to have a place here and spend time with the culture and the people and get to know them. And that wish is very strong for me. There's certain countries I walk into, and Clayton knows this and Ted knows that I say, I want to work here, I want to be here. And so my wish is that happens in Romania. And I hope that I do more for the Romanian people than they do for me, because I think that's part of my desire.
Thank you very much, Clayton.
The most important thing you can do is we look at the growth of a new economy, as we were talking about earlier with the 30-year transition that the country's been in, that each individual has an opportunity to invest in different ways, right? Your level of risk, your level of acumen, the strength of your relationships. But the first investment you have to make is in yourself, right? Invest in your health, invest in your well-being, whether it's mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional, because there isn't just one approach you have to do. You need to first invest in yourself. And then once you take care of yourself, look at how you can invest in others, right? And build relationships. Because through relationships, everything else you want to do or everything else you need can be built and developed. And that's I think the strength of building from the inside out. And as you've done so far, over the last 30 years, is building those relationships. And it's those relationships that carry you throughout life.
And with the relationships, building the life.
Yes, and it's the relationships that build a life, and I think that goes back to the important part of what we're teaching our kids, is the most important thing that you can really do is foster and build strong relationships. Anywhere you go, you want to build relationships because you never know where they're going to take you.
Yeah.
And that's number one.
So
guys, thank you very much to be here in Mureș News studio by Rua Media. I wish you good luck. I wish you love, happiness, and rude company to arrive in the end of the world, and everybody to consume, because I'm sure it's important for us. And God help us to work together.
Amen to that. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
We've got to send products. Did we bring products?
Well, we'll make sure that there's goodies.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
and
very
for
much.
you guys, like always, 2 words. Don't forget to be good, because to be good is for free. All the best.